Hello, I hope you are having a wonderful day today. Today I'm going to be showing you how I make witch hazel. This will actually be the first time I've ever made witch hazel tonic. This recipe is by Dawn Combs. I will link it below. I have several of Dawn Combs books. I have talked about her many times. Conceiving Healthy Babies book and Heal Local. I love her stuff. So she has this recipe on how to make witch hazel tonic, which you can make witch hazel as a water-based witch hazel, but it doesn't last as long because it's just water-based, whereas today's is going to be with water and with vodka, so it's shelf stable, which is what I need it for because I use witch hazel to make Scott's deodorant. I've been making Scott's deodorant for about 3 years now. It works really good. I will share that recipe at the end of the video. And so in the past, I've always just used that one witch hazel brand that you get from like organic shops. It's the one with the red lid. I can't think of the name of it. And Scott's just ran out of deodorant, so I was like, oh my gosh, this is like forcing me to finally stop being intimidated by making witch hazel. So we're gonna do it, and we're gonna do it together, and I'm gonna show you how easy it is. So all you need is witch hazel bark. I have bought this over a year ago. I think my first Mountain Rose herb haul that I did, I bought this. I bought 1 pound bag. I don't buy from Mountain Rose Herbs anymore, so, but that's where I got this. So you want the bark, witch hazel bark. This is organic. And then I also am using organic vodka, and I got this from Jungle Gyms, but any liquor store you go to, you can ask them for the organic vodka, and I'm sure they will have at least one brand or variety. I got this bottle for $18.99, and sometimes Jungle Gyms does have it on sale. You really don't want to compromise the quality of the vodka you use because you just never know what ingredients were used to make the vodka, if they have been sprayed with pesticide. If you're using any of those ingredients and your vodka is the base, you're now consuming the pesticided stuff that you don't want in your body, which ruins the whole point of making all of this stuff yourself. So you really want to get organic ingredients. So I'm using the organic vodka. Okay, so now that says it needs to sit until the tea is completely cooled. So I have a feeling that's gonna take a while. So I wanted to give a quick shout out to TOUPS & Co. So I will be sharing the recipe that I use for Scott's deodorant. It does have baking soda in it, which is why I can't use it. Whenever I use that deodorant, it does like break out my arms. So I have tried many different natural deodorants, and my friend Natalie told me about TOUPS & Co. a year ago. I haven't needed to buy any skincare or makeup or anything since the past year. And I was looking at their website and I saw that they had deodorant, and I was like, you know what? I really want to try their deodorant because it is the cleanest of all ingredients. I was using Dr. Schmidt's, and there was something I discovered about Dr. Schmidt's that wasn't good, and now I can't remember what it is, so I feel really unreliable sharing that there was something not good, not knowing what it was. But there was something that for some reason didn't make me feel great about using their products, so I did end up getting the lavender one. They do have another extra strength deodorant that does have baking soda in it, but this one doesn't. So the ingredients on this is grass-fed tallow, organic arrowroot powder, magnesium hydroxide, organic coconut oil, and organic lavender essential oil. And it works wonderfully. I love this. And then the lip gloss that I'm using is the TOUPS & Co. Organic Lip Gloss, and it's in the shade Nude with Attitude, and I love this so much. And TOUPS & Co. gave me a 10% off your order discount. So if you're wanting to buy any good quality makeup or skincare, they do sell tallow balm, deodorant, you can get 10% off. If you use the Home with Kelly, you can only use that once. So I would recommend actually waiting until you know what you want from them and getting a bigger order, because once you use that, you can't use it anymore. They also do a 10% off when you sign up. So if you wanted to just try a few products and use their 10% off when you enter their email, you can get that code. And then if you wanted to order more, you can use my code for later. I just thought I would share that with you. I really love this brand. She was on the Weston A. Price podcast talking about her company, and she said something that was really profound that will stay with me forever. She was saying how it is actually not good, this whole petitioning for the government to be involved in the makeup industry, because the more you involve the government into regulations, the more you end up kicking out businesses, small, you see all these people on Instagram, wonderful people making their own tallow bombs, apothecary stuff, and being able to sell it because the government hasn't put regulations on being able to sell those things. But then you have companies like Beauty Counter, who I used to sell their stuff. Their whole mission is to get the government involved in regulating what goes into skincare makeup products, which we should want natural stuff to go into our makeup stuff. It's ridiculous that brands like L'Oreal, and I can't even remember all the other ones, but it's terrible toxic stuff in their products, but they can get away with it because there's no regulations. However, the curse is when you get the government involved, now all of these nice, small, Christian-owned businesses have to jump through hoops to try to sell their products, and you're really cutting out the small business owner. So rather than petitioning for the government to get involved, this is time for us to take personal responsibility and read the ingredients labels and stop buying from companies that put terrible ingredients in their products. So she said that, and I was like, that is genius, because again, I used to sell Beauty Counter, and that was like their whole mission, is to change the beauty industry by protesting the government to be more involved in it. And I just thought that was such a good point. So if you look into this company and Emily TOUPS, it is just so wholesome. So I highly recommend their stuff. It is just after 9 p.m. and the witch hazel tea is now lukewarm room temperature. So we are going to finish this up tonight, separate it, add the alcohol. Basically, I'm going to measure how much, after I strain it, I'm going to measure how much liquid is there, and however much tea is there, I'm going to do half that amount of vodka, combine it together, and that is what makes it shelf stable, and it should last 1 to 2 years. So I'm going to do that tonight, and then tomorrow I will be doing the deodorant for you. At how dark this is. This does not show how dark it is in the picture, and obviously this is the tonic, so this does need to be diluted, but I'm very fascinated because all the witch hazel I've ever used is completely clear. So this is interesting. Here we are the next day, and I have my witch hazel, which I am very excited about. It smells wonderful. So if you've ever purchased witch hazel before, it always comes clear. So that's why when after I made it, I was like, why is it brown? Because I've only ever seen clear witch hazel. And I remembered the brand name, it was Thayer's. Well, I didn't remember it up, but I was looking up to see what's the difference between clear witch hazel and obviously brown witch hazel. And I haven't totally discovered it yet, but one thing that I do realize is that you can make witch hazel with the leaf or with the bark. The bark has far more nutrient properties to it, but the leaf obviously still has stuff to it. So I don't know if those brands use the leaf instead of the bark, because if you look at Thayer's ingredients, it just says witch hazel extract. And also you don't really know how they are extracting the witch hazel. It might not be the best way to get all the nutrients out of the witch hazel. And then when I was looking at the ingredients, I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe we ever used this brand of witch hazel. It is so bad. It's like, yeah, there's so many fillers and all kinds of nasty stuff in it, where this is pure witch hazel. So, and obviously water and vodka. So, when I was looking up brown witch hazel, I actually found one other brand that sells brown witch hazel, and in the description it says this is what witch hazel should look like, and they used it as a facial astringent. So I am going to be making that for myself. I used to use witch hazel, the Thayer's brand, as an astringent on my face at night. So I will be making some of that as well. But first, I'm going to make Scott's deodorant. We have two different size bottles that I use to make his deodorant, a bigger one and a smaller one. This one's easy to take around with us, but I'm gonna go ahead and make it in both. So the bigger one, I'm going to put 2 teaspoons of baking soda. I get my baking soda from Azure in a 5-pound bag. So 2 teaspoons of baking soda for this size jar. And I actually don't know what size jar this is. Okay, so we did the 2 teaspoons of baking soda, and then now I'm going to fill it 1/3 of the way with, and you know, normally I do 1/3 of the way, but this stuff is very potent and strong. I would do 1/3 of the way with the other brand, and since this is not that, I feel like this is going to be stronger than that. So I'm actually going to do 1/4 of the bottle is going to be the witch hazel. So that was a little more than 1/4. Happens when you overfill it, you make do. So I'll just pour some of this in here. And the baking soda is still all at the bottom, which is good. If you like exact recipes, I apologize. I don't really do exact recipes very well. Okay, and then I'm gonna put a little bit of baking soda in this smaller one. Okay, so here's what we've got. We've got this one, and we've got this one. It has our baking soda and our witch hazel, and then you want to do whatever essential oil you like. Scott likes the citrus fresh one, so that is what I'm going to do. Sometimes we will do, I'm trying to think of the other ones. We do a lot of citrus. It's mostly citrus ones that he likes to do, like orange or grapefruit. I don't ever use this, so it's nice to use it in a deodorant. A little bit of essential oils go a long way. I don't even really use essential oils that much anymore. I really like what Dawn Combs writes about in her book, Heal Local with Essential Oils. She says that when basically getting the essential oil from the plant, it is the volatile oils that it takes. So it takes out all the water, and it's the volatile oils, which is only one part of the plant. And when you separate only that one part, it makes the essential oil very, very powerful. So you don't need much of it. And because it only pulls away the one part, it's neglecting the rest of the part of the plant that it's not using. So that's why I like to make oils where you take the whole leaf or the whole plant and you infuse the whole thing in an oil. So jojoba oil, almond oil, olive oil. It's much more gentler the way that the plant is being used in the oil, and then you're using all of the parts of the plant rather than just pulling out one component of the plant and turning it into essential oil, which makes it extremely powerful. Okay, so I've now filled up both of the bottles the rest of the way with our filtered Berkey water, and they're done. So I'm really excited to see what Scott thinks about this new witch hazel blend. It smells wonderful, and for this deodorant, you just need to shake it every time before you use it because the baking soda will settle at the bottom. So now I'm going to make myself a and astringent for my face. And so I have this adorable little bottle, which I love. I got this in South Africa in 2020. So I have some filtered water in it. I am just going to pour, I'm eyeballing this. So I'm just gonna pour a little bit of witch hazel in it. Oops. Like a little bit of this really does go a long way. So I'm gonna fill some of this up with water. You can see the beautiful color of it, and I'm just gonna add a little bit more witch hazel. And I think that's good. Okay, so this I'm going to put in my bathroom, and in the evening and in the morning, my mom crocheted me these cotton pads, and so I have a whole jar of them, and I use these for the witch hazel. So basically in the morning and in the evening, I wash my face with jojoba oil, and sometimes I'll use infused jojoba oil, so it's like dandelion or calendula infused jojoba oil. The one I have right now is just straight jojoba oil. And so I first get my face all wet, then I put the jojoba oil, maybe just like the size of a nickel, on my hand, rub it all on my face, take all my makeup off, use a very warm washcloth, and again, cleanse all my makeup off, get all my eye makeup off, and then I will do another round of the jojoba oil just to make sure all of the makeup is off. And then once my face is nice and clean, I will then just pour a tiny bit of this on the pad and then put it on my face. If you have very dry skin, you might want to do more water than the witch hazel, because the witch hazel does have vodka in it, which is why I was mindful of the water and witch hazel ratio. But if it didn't have the vodka in it, then it wouldn't be shelf stable, and it would need to be put in the refrigerator, and even then it wouldn't last very long. So then I just put that on my face, and then I will put the tallow that I made on my face, which I love the tallow. It is amazing. I followed Bumblebee, I think that's her name, Bumblebee Apothecary's video on how to render and make your own tallow, and then I turned it into a whipped tallow bomb, and then I put that on my face every night. I don't put the tallow on my face in the morning. I only do it in the evenings, and it's super moisturizing. So that's pretty much my facial routine that you didn't ask for, but I gave it to you. So that is everything. I hope that this is encouraging to you to make your own witch hazel. Oh, and I wanted to share with you, so I was like, I can't say that, like yesterday I was like, I don't order from Mountain Rose Herbs anymore, and I just kind of left you hanging on where to get the witch hazel bark from if you also didn't want to order from Mountain Rose Herbs. So there is a company called Schmerble Herbals, put it on the screen, and they have an awesome website of all types of herbs, and they do sell the organic witch hazel bark, and it's for a really good price, and it looks like a family-owned company. And I scrolled all the way through their Instagram, and they just sell herbs, so they're not into all the social justice stuff. And yeah, they just seem like a really wholesome company, and I'm so excited the next time I need herbs to be able to order from them. So it's Schmerble Herbals. I hope that you're able to check them out, and if you'd like to make your own witch hazel, I highly recommend it. God bless.